Good morning. I hope you are well today. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today's Thursday. I know I haven't, been on in a little minute and it's been so much going on. Well, before I get into what's been going on, I am Liz B, the creator of Faceless Podcast. I have started this podcast. It's been almost a year now since we've been doing this. It has been amazing. And it is very interesting to have audio kind of, I guess, journal type of thing happen in here where, you guys are hearing about my life and hearing about, you know, some of the things that I've experienced, in the past couple of months. It's a very, very strange season, I'm in personally. um it's definitely been a whirlwind, a lot of good things but also some sad things. So, let me do the official welcome to the Faceless Podcast, a place where you can speak freely and be unashamed about your story and embrace your truth. I am Liz B, as I've introduced myself again. Um, so today's topic is grief, grieving someone or something you lost, and the truth about what you feel about loss. A lot of the times with grief, for me personally, I'm speaking from experience, of what I think. I lost someone very close to me um, not too long ago, almost 2 weeks ago at this point. And with that, it was so much anger, it was so much sadness, it was so much pain. Just the what ifs, right? The regret tries to creep in. And then, for me, because I know Christ and I have a relationship with God, Him reminding me, I did everything I could have done, and we're not God. We don't know the time, the date, or the place where someone will, not be here any longer. And as sad as I was, as frustrated and crying and just filled with so many different emotions, even now talking about it, I realize that grief is a very strange feeling. And what I mean by that is that while I was grieving, I was able to take off time and have a good 2 weeks of just eating out, laying in bed, crying and praying and, yelling and screaming and being very angry. Then just being very confused and conflicted, not trusting my judgment with a lot of things and decisions I needed to make in a short amount of time. Just not being there and just putting so much pressure on myself to perform while I was grieving. Because the thing is about grief, the world doesn't stop because you're grieving. So you still have to work, you still have to go to school if you're in school, if you have children or you have pets. It doesn't stop because you're grieving. It doesn't stop because you lost someone and you are the only person that feels the loss. Other people will move on. They'll tell you, "Oh, I'm sorry for your loss," and they move on with their life. They don't keep thinking that, "Oh, let me check in with so and so." They send flowers, they send, they do what they can, but life goes on. And one thing God told me that I'll never ever forget in my life, first of all, He said, "Let him go. You got to let him go." And I was like, "I'm not ready." No, right? And one day I realized, how would He want me to live my life after this? What would He want me to learn from this? Well, I don't know what He would want me to learn. I don't know what He would want me to um, say or do, right? Because he's no longer with us. He's at peace. I tried to think and I said, I know He would want me to be happy and He would want me to keep living, because that is the kind of person He was. And the person I lost was my little brother. Um, I feel like I should share that. And it was very emotional for me, and still is emotional. And in the midst of losing him, I had some amazing life changing news. Such a great blessing happened in my life, something I had been working on prior to him passing. Um, and I was conflicted about my joy and happiness, right? I was conflicted about moving forward. I was conflicted about not being sad, not being depressed every day, all day. I felt guilt tried to kind of take a hold on me. He's not here, you're supposed to be sad. You're supposed to this, and then the other side is like, no, you have to move forward because he's not here. Tears are not going to bring him back, and I realize you have to honor and trust your emotions. You have to honor and trust where you are. Some days are great. Some days are not great. Sometimes I'm crying. Sometimes I'm not. And this great accomplishment was so life-changing for me and my family, that I truly felt that I felt joy. I felt hope again. I felt love again. I felt, just peace again. I felt like it was just weird. It was a weird feeling. And the truth of the matter is, and I never heard anybody talk about this, when it comes to grief, there's a guilt that tries to come because you are still living and that person is gone. And I realize the guilt is the trick of the enemy, absolutely, but it is an emotion that comes with grief. And when God said, let him go, and I truly let him go, and my heart of hearts, I was like, he's at peace, he's at rest, and there is nothing any of us could do to bring him back because he's not here. And with that truth, while it hurts, while it is like, oh, that sounds harsh, it is a truth that I had to hold on to in order to continue to live my life. And I still have moments where I cry. I still have moments when I'm questioning myself and my judgment and just all these confusing feelings that happen. But then I can also, what can coexist is happiness and sadness can coexist. Joy and pain can coexist. Disappointment and, blessings can coexist because we are not like a one-track type of people. We are so multifaceted in our emotions, and we're complex beings that we can feel multiple things at the same time, and two things can both be true. And I don't know why I'm making this video, to be honest with you. Like I said, I'm normally a very private person. Anybody around me knows. Even my friends don't know things that happen until it's done. But I truly feel and felt that grief is really one of the most crazy feelings you could feel. I don't know why it's that way. I don't know what's so weird about it, but it's like, it does change you. Like, I don't feel like I am the same Liz B I was before this happened. I absolutely changed. But what I realized is I started realizing I want to do the things that I'm on earth to do, and I want to have fun doing it. So instead of me workaholic, striving all the time for everything, I want to enjoy life. Because the truth of the matter is, I never say life is short and I never say life is cruel. Those are just not two things I say, because that's not true. Life is not short. Life is not cruel. But I do feel that you have to value life. And we take so many things for granted because we assume that, I have some business plans for a year. I got an 18-year plan. I got a 10-year plan, a 5-year plan. Listen, those things are good. I'm not saying don't have those things, but I'm saying you need to live and live well and live the life that you want to live, not where your mama wants you to live, your daddy wants you to live. You live for yourself, because you know what? At the end of your days, you can't blame anybody for anything. You cannot say, oh, well, my great grand aunt, she did this to me. This person did that to me, because guess what? They're living their life. So you have to live and you have to move forward. And if you can't move forward for yourself, move forward for the person you lost, because they would not want you to be worried about them because they are not here. With grief, I assumed that I would just feel sadness. I did not see joy coming back. I did not know if I could be happy again. I did not know if my family could recover. I didn't know, to be honest with you, what the future was. I had to try to be sober as I could in the situation, so I didn't make emotional decisions, because emotional decisions are usually not the best decisions. when you have to be very sober about what it is despite what you're feeling. And I had to lean on God in a way I don't think I've ever had to lean on him. I had to draw strength from him in a way I've never had to draw strength from him before, to be honest with you, in order to even talk about it without bursting into tears. So it's crazy how life works. And it's like, while I was striving for this one thing, and I got it, I'm so happy about it. I'm so overjoyed. I'm so, grateful. And I know it's a miracle. And I'm so grateful to God. In the same breath, I'm grieving my little brother at the same time. So I just commend all people who have lost a person that was close to them, whether it was a sibling or a mom or a father, best friend or a child or whatever it is, especially during the holidays, because it can be very tough while people are with their families, that you are missing someone or some people, and I love each and every one of you. I pray that you guys have strength and that you are safe and that you know that you are loved. And if there's nobody in your life that loves you, I love you. Faceless Podcast loves you and appreciates you and the person that you are. It has been a strange couple of weeks for me. And like I said, I realized two things can both exist at the same time. And no one has to understand our grief journey. No one has to agree with it. It is personal and it is your process. I always say the thing that can go left is when you become destructive of yourself, destructive of others. That is when you need to get help. And there's nothing wrong with therapy. I definitely scheduled a therapist appointment. Okay, get some therapy. I scheduled another appointment for this month to speak to someone so I could process this grief and continue to release him, but also honor my little brother, Caesar Burke Jr. He was 23 years old when he passed. So I just want to have a moment of silence for him and honor him on my platform. And starting now. And I just really want to thank everyone that has watched, supported, liked, shared, and comment on this platform and supported my dream. I don't even know what this is or what this will become, but I'm hopeful that it will produce something, I feel that I'm going to take him wherever I go. And I am going to honor his legacy and who he was. Wherever I am, he will be with me. And I believe that. I believe that the life I live, people will know his name for a good reason, and they will know who he was to me for the rest of my life. So yeah, I'm going to conclude this episode. And like I said, if you've ever grieved anyone in your life, hats off to you, first of all, for having the strength to move forward. And it's a process. Be patient with yourself in the midst of it. Be patient with the mistakes you make. Be patient with your process. And if it becomes too much and it becomes unbearable, get help. Go to therapy. Get you a great counselor that you trust, that you believe has your best interest in mind. And while therapists don't know everything, they're not perfect. They do help you to process information and trauma and things that you've been through. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all watching. And I hope that you have a Merry Christmas. This be over and out.